Hello, hello. We out here, okay? Got the phone on tilted. Okay, that's better. Okay, no filter. We're just gonna rock out. We good? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Brianna Talks Juicing, where I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking of juicing, but I am back. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Today we're going to be making MOXTAILS, and I know I shared a live before about making MOXTAILs, but I did some things differently. I made it like kind of soupy last time. This time I'm going to fry it up and really get the flavoring. So first thing you want to do is, and I have some ingredients back here, but I need to go ahead and get this water boiling. This is not labeled, but it's regular grits. Just regular instant grits. So you're going to take your grits, however much you like. I really don't measure, but I'll probably do like half of this in a pot of boiling water. So here's the pot. I should probably turn it so y'all can see more of the stove. Here's the pot. Here's the water. Gonna fill it with water. I don't know, until it's like maybe like that much of water. Just free flowing. And we're going to bring it to a boil. So that's gonna take a few minutes. So while that is coming to a boil, I'm gonna add some water back to my filter. While that is coming to a boil, we are going to chop up our MOXTAILs, i.e. king oyster mushrooms. Not to be confused with regular oyster mushrooms, people. It's different. And my farmer's market, I don't know. I thought they discontinued these at first because they weren't there for mad weeks. So I was trying other mushrooms, and it does not hit the same. So these are what they look like. They need to say king oyster mushrooms. I'm on YouTube and Instagram. King oyster mushrooms, okay? Not regular oyster mushrooms, not any other kind. These. My mom says they look like doggy bones. So, you know, you just open them up and slice them up like scallops or whatever. So I'm going to give y'all an example of how they look. And be careful, like I know we want to rinse everything off and stuff like that, but mushrooms, they just hold a lot of water. And we don't want a lot of water because it's going to dilute the flavor. So, you know, you can just brush off the mushrooms, whatever. But try to steer clear of the water. So I'm going to cut. I don't know if I can bring this on. I'm going to cut so y'all can kind of. All right, Instagram. I'm just going to have to show you. Okay. So I make mine about this thick. I think that's like an inch. Sometimes they're fatter, like this. Sometimes they're thinner. but it's still about this wide, because we're going to be frying them on both sides, or sauteing, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to make it too thick to where, you know, the seasoning doesn't marinate really. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I guess y'all are at work or something, huh? Or y'all are just like, she left us out in the cold. So we'll see you when we see you. I know typically I do something later or earlier, but I was just going with the flow. And I know this is a little janky, but that's okay. I'm gonna put the oyster mushrooms in a bag, and I'm going to shake it up. I'm gonna shake it up with the seasoning when I'm done. But I'm gonna make a big batch today, so I'm gonna be putting them in the bag as I go. So I realized, especially on Instagram, I got a lot of new followers. So thank you all for the support, and I would really love it if you could tell me how you found out about my page or my channel, depending on which platform you're viewing me on. Because I haven't posted content in like over a month. So I'm like, how did I get so many new followers without posting new content? But I know in my bio it says that I'm on a juice cleanse. So if you're viewing me on Instagram, you really have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brianna Talks Juicing, because this second juice cleanse that I did was very different from my first one. It took on a whole life of its own and went its own way. So these are the oyster chunks, again with king oyster mushrooms. So I'm doing 4 packs, which is a lot. So I'm gonna have to break this up into 2 different like frying things. If y'all like to watch me cook, like, let me know what you want to see next. I was gonna do crabless cakes. So if y'all are interested in seeing that, let me know. I have the ingredients and everything ready to go. Okay, I'm gonna try to cut this fast. I really want to like play music or something and really get the vibe going. I just don't want to have like any copyright infringement. We shall see. Checking to see if the water came to a boil yet. It has not. But since I'm basically done cutting these up, I'm gonna go ahead and get the skillet going. So I'm just gonna coat the base of my pan in olive oil and heat that up. This is the olive oil that I use. It really doesn't matter what brand. I just like the cold press extra virgin olive oil. It's like more natural or less processed. So I don't recommend using like the canola oils or the corn oils or whatever like that. Because I tried and it just doesn't taste the same. Olive oil just brings out the flavor so much better. I know it's costs more, but if you can get, just stock up on it when it's on sale. Oh my goodness. Y'all, don't you hate it when the thing is connected? The little piece is connected? No. Y'all. I may have to end this live. The pieces are connected. Oh no. I may have to end this live. I did it. I did it. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that happened. Okay, so the grits water is coming to a boil, so I am going to go ahead and add in the grits. And I'm gonna like shake it like salt around so that it doesn't get clumpy. So listen, I know there's a whole thing. Do you put sugar in your grits? Do you put salt and pepper? Listen. I do all three, okay? You do what you want to do. I like how the sugar, like takes away from the starchness of the grits. But hey, it's your world. Do salt, do pepper, do sugar, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to do all three because in the words of Auntie Tab, that's my business. So I just added the grits and we're going to take that down to a low boil. Let that cook. It said it takes 5 minutes, but you know, just let it cook for whatever. Okay, so now we can add the oil, just enough to cover the base of the skillet. Okay, I have a lot to get through. Okay, so while that's heating up, I'm going to finish chopping up the food. So good. And again, make sure it's king oyster mushrooms, not regular oyster mushrooms, not any other kind of oyster mushrooms. I'm telling you, it's not the same. It makes a huge difference. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add the sugar. I'm going to add the sugar in to the grits. Just a couple shakes, a few shakes of salt, and a few shakes of pepper. You know, the grits are not, let me talk to y'all. The grits are not the main focus. So you don't have to invest in a lot of seasonings with the grits. You just want to we just don't want them to be like starch. Y'all know what I'm saying? If you don't season grits, y'all know what I'm saying. You gotta put something in it. So I don't know if I should do this, but this is my first time trying this seasoning. I normally do like the Jamaica Valley seasoning, but ooh, that needs more water. Okay, so I normally do the Jamaica Valley seasoning, but I ran out and I have to like order it, wait for it to, come in and all of that. So I bought other oxtail seasoning and it was so salty. So I just went to the farmer's market and I'm trying this. I don't know if they're good, so I don't really want to advertise it heavy, but I chose this one because salt wasn't the main ingredient. The other seasoning I used, it was so salty. So then I looked on for a few other oxtail seasonings, and most of them, the first ingredient was salt. And y'all know if the first ingredient, whatever the first ingredient is what it's majority of. So this first ingredient is onion, and then garlic, and then salt is like in the middle. So it won't be as salty before, because that really took away from the experience. So I'm just throwing some seasoning in a grocery bag. Whew. And I'm going to take it out. So you just want to look at it, make sure it's covered. Can you see that? You can kind of see, make sure it's covered. And so, yeah, start with a little bit, then just add as you go. So, I think I need more oil in the pan. Okay, so I think the oil is ready. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start adding the pieces in, just like on the skillet like this. And then I'm going to let that cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then I'm going to flip it over like this. And then it should be good to go. Don't overcrowd your skillet. I have a lot, so it's going to take me a few rounds. But I'm going to cook it in bulk so I can eat on this for the rest of the week. All right, so give me 1 second. Alright, so I want to take a look. That's how it looks in the pot. That's the grits over there. That's how it looks. You're going to flip it in about 3 to 5 minutes. That was the grits on the other side. And I'm going to step out of the camera for a second. I need to grab some water. Alright, so while that is frying up, I can talk to you about what I'm going to do next. And I'm going to do one batch, and then I'm going to cut the live, because this is just going to be lengthy, and I'm just going to repeat it. And then I'll make a post on Instagram, and then a short on, or a reel on, no. I'll make a reel on Instagram and a short on YouTube about what the final product looks like when everything is cooked and ready to go. Alright, so after you fry those up, you're going to like, I typically would drain it, but I'm going to keep the oil in because I'm going to put some more in there. So I'm just going to put it on the cooking little sheet and then cook some more. And then once everything is done cooking, then you toss them in oxtail sauce, and then they're ready to go. But don't add water. I added water, the mushrooms absorb the water, dilutes the flavor, and it's like no good. You want it to have a little crisp because the mushrooms soften anyway, so fry them, keep them crispy, and then the sauce will like soften it a little bit so it'll have that beefy kind of texture to it. Okay? Okay. Alrighty, so there's that. So, shout out to all my new followers. I hope y'all can hear me over the frying. My name is Brianna. I am a single mom out here in Atlanta, Georgia. I run a theater education company, primarily for children, do private classes. I partner with elementary schools to do performances, just all things acting training. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me professionally. I love all things creative. I used to crochet. I don't do much of that anymore. I love painting and I love dancing. I'm not a strong dancer, but I love taking classes, arts classes, cooking classes, whatever, to kind of keep my creative brain going. I love spending time with my family and friends, spending time in nature. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. I do like different types of cleanses just when I feel like my body needs a reset. So if this is your first video that you watch with me, watch my very first video. And if it's too much to scroll through on Instagram, check me out on YouTube. And I post more content on YouTube. Brianna Talks Juicing, same thing. And you can follow me from the beginning of my juicing, documenting process. Okay, so once it looks like that, Then you can flip it. Try not to get popped. Oops, out. I popped myself. Be careful. I probably should have just used a spatula. That would have been faster, but whatever. Okay, so I'll show y'all what it looks like in the pan so you can see, like, when you should flip it. So you see how it's, like, nice and crispy on the top? You want it to be that crispy because the sauce is going to soften it a lot. I mean, unless you don't care. I mean, it's your world. Okay, so I'm going to let that cook. Then I'm going to add the sauce to it. So I have two different oxtail sauces. I normally use this one, but last time I used this one. I normally use this one. Last time I used this one. And I didn't like it that much, and I think it was because I think it was because I was using the wrong mushroom. It has to be king oyster mushroom. So I think I am going to use this one again. I just you know, was using the wrong mushrooms, but I'll use this one if I do need more sauce. But this should be plenty for the whole batch. We'll see. So that's going to be probably it for today. I'm at like 30 minutes, so that's plenty of time. And then I'll post something shorter after this post so you can see the final product with everything. Sounds good? Good? All right, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you want to see next, you know, plant-based style. And y'all have a great day, rest of the day or evening, however, whenever you watch this, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.